Hello and welcome to the Northwest Treatment Videocast.
Hi.
Hey Léa, how's it going?
Oh, a lot of breathing right now. That's how it's going. How are you doing?
Doing good, doing all right, given everything going on. I guess we just kind of jump in. We wanted to, from Northwest Treatment, Léa and Jessica as the owners, wanted to reach out and start a video cast and basically talking about things we learned or know or skills we can share as therapists. I'm an LPC and Léa, you are a social worker.
Yeah, I'm an LCSW.
Yep. And we both work with alcohol and drug counselor roles and clients, as well as mental health.
Yeah, we sure do. And one of the things that came up recently was somebody asked us, why did we want to be counselors?
Right. What was the first inkling that we had decided we wanted to get into this helping role?
Yeah. And so we thought that we would answer that question. So Jessica, why did you want to be a counselor?
Man, my as you well know, Léa, my journey here has been very convoluted. With my background in theater and teaching and various other things. Truly for me, it's never been 100% since I was little to be a therapist in any way, but it's more that I've come to it over time. I knew I wanted to be a helper, that I wanted to give back to my community, to give back to the world at large. And that kind of led me down the idea of theater and entertaining people or giving people joy or becoming a teacher and sharing knowledge. And my family has connections through mental health work. And so it's really kind of, looking back on it, always made sense that I would be a therapist and be able to help the mental health and addiction world with what's going on.
You actually have a couple of members of your family be in the mental health profession, right?
Correct. Both my parents. Yeah,
Four?
both of my parents and other extended family as well, cousins and so on, are either therapists or physical therapists or that kind of thing. So we're definitely more of a helping family is kind of one of the things. But it's one of those that I've not necessarily known since I was little that I wanted to do this one thing. It's definitely been a bit of a journey for me, which is slightly different from you. If I remember, you have more direct from your childhood connections with wanting to be involved. Am I correct?
Yeah. So one of my mother's very favorite stories about me was my kindergarten teacher, and it might have been pre-K teacher, told my mother that I was very passionate and that I had a nickname with the teachers, and that was La protectrice de la veuve et de l'orphelin, which translates to the protector of the orphan and the widow. Because as it turned out, I have a very strong sense of morality and have been enforcing it since I have been a child, apparently. And that included that if I saw a kid getting picked on, I tended to want to go protect that child. Equal opportunistically, as it turned out. I did it for everybody. Yeah, so that's always been kind of in the back of my mind. And when I went to grade school, maybe
in France,
I was in grade school in France. I still continue to do that there. And like always was protecting, like if people were getting picked on, I was the first one to go and protect them. I was the first one to put myself on the line for that. And then when I moved here to the United States and did in middle school, I had the language barrier. So it was a little bit harder for me. And at that point, I just got very shy and didn't really do it as much. And then in high school, I started kind of doing that work again. And so I knew that when I went into my program at university that I was going to do psychology because I wanted to the point where I did not understand what occupational therapist was. And I said that I would be an occupational therapist, and then realized, as my mother told me and laughing at me, that it was a physical therapist. And I was like, no, I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. I want to be a counselor. I want to be a therapist.
Right.
I mean, I've known I wanted to be in this profession in one way, shape, form, or another since I have been like 3 or 4 years old.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And it feels very nice to be
fulfilling that dream.
Yeah, and content in there. Because I mean, I've had burnout. I've had like moments of definitely compassion fatigue.
Sure. That definitely happens a lot, and it's definitely happened to both of us.
Yeah, but it's super helpful to be in a at least for me, it has been super helpful to be in a profession where I get to come back ultimately and be like, and you chose to be here. Like,
Right.
there is no other option for you.
We know this is something that calls to both of us.
Yeah. And it's something obviously passionate about and have been since I've been little and love doing and continue to love doing. And to the point where, like, I know you're not supposed to therapize your friends or anything else, but I have a joke with my friends of like, do you want Leia's opinion, your friend, or do you want Leia, the professional's opinion? Or like, what are you looking for? And let me see what I can do to help. And when I was volunteering a couple of different places, people would find out I was a social worker and then they'd be like, oh, do you have resources for that? And I'm like, well, technically I'm not here for that. And here's a list of all the resources that I have. Here you go.
Sure. It's one thing to share resources or contacts you have or connections, not so much no giving out free therapy.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't give out free therapy, but I definitely will listen to people and do all those lovely things that therapists are supposed to do. And especially social workers, we're always on the clock from what I can tell.
Yes. Once you kind of go into a helping relationship kind of role or job or profession, we're almost always kind of on call in certain aspects. And so it's learning the boundaries of that, learning what we need to turn it on or off. So,
but yeah.
Well, I hope that helps and that answers our at least first question, which is the why did we become therapists or why did we come into this profession?
I know. And so on that, we wish you to be well and we wish you to be healthy and have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.